Hey guys, this is Verbal Engine 95, recording live from your local county prison cell. And yeah, I was just able I'm just able to get this week's episode done today, which is good because I don't want to forget it and not be able to do it for the rest of the week and end up owing you guys more like I just got done doing. So this week's episode is going to be something simple. I didn't want to really try to overdo it before I just got into not owing you guys three fights. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get a pretty easy one out of the way. Probably not gonna happen, but whatever. This is Lars Alexandersson from Tekken versus Hayate from Dead or Alive. You're gonna be seeing a lot of 3D fighting stuff now. Just to let you guys know, just overall, you guys are probably gonna be seeing a lot of 3D fighting stuff. So, yeah, amnesiacs, I believe, is the term, right? Yeah. So let's talk about Lars. Um, son-in-law, or well, half brother to Kazuya. So technically not son-in-law. Son-in-law would be, never mind. Half brother to Kazuya, and technically the biological son of Heihachi Mishima. This guy, well, something that bothers me about Tekken is that they'll all have completely different fighting styles, and they'll just label it as karate, and just say like, "Oh, it's their family specific, or it's their blah blah blah, specific version of karate." Like, they use karate way too much in Tekken. Heihachi, Mishima style karate. Jin, fucking uh, Kazama, Mishima slash Kazama style karate, Mishima style karate and Kazama style self defense. Fucking June is Kazama style self defense. Kazuya still does Mishima style despite his fighting style not being anything like Heihachi's. Whatever. Lars is also again does not do Heihachi style of karate, does his own style of karate. But yeah, anyway, whatever. So I was thinking Lars would be one of the more like easy characters to find like superhuman traits to for Tekken, because if it's a death battle, they sort of have to have some superhuman traits, or at least some not human traits or not common traits, I should say. Like, if it's just a guy with a gun, it's not very exciting. But if it's Solid Snake and he has technology that probably won't exist ever, then it's more exciting. But yeah, Lars. The only thing I believe Lars can do that's more exciting, that's more not human, would of course be, well, all these aerial moves he can do is fucking lightning screw, the all that other stuff. I think that's what it's called. Being able to move quicker than the human eye can see temporarily, all that, like basically like teleporting. And of course, he's got clearly some sort of. I say this a lot with Tekken, but he's clearly got some sort of manipulation of electricity. Now with Jin and Kazuya's, what the? Oh, sorry. My thumb was covering the camera for a second. Sorry. Um, with Jin and Kazuya's case, they're wearing gloves. So, and they are specifically called the power gloves in Tekken. They're so bad. But there's something else going on with that. Like, that's, right? Lars does not have these gloves, so clearly Lars has some sort of manipulation over electricity. Especially because of that Zeus uppercut he does, where he raises his hands to the sky, lightning strikes his hand, and then he uppercuts you. So this guy can at least summon lightning from the sky. Or at least attract lightning to his hand. Right? So he's got some sort of manipulation of electricity. And even if Zeus is all he can do with that, he's still pretty awesome just being Lars Alexandersson. Yeah, I'm not going to go into the backstory or anything, because this next guy's backstory is going to take a little bit. We're going to talk about Hayate from Dead or Alive. So yeah, this is a guy who trained as a ninja his entire life, got knocked into a tree and got a spinal injury, which gave him amnesia somehow, and forgot all of the ninjutsu he learned. But in the process of forgetting ninjutsu, somehow learns karate? And I'm not, and by the way, before you say this, it's not like, oh, well, maybe he only knew some of his ninjutsu and he thought in his amnesiated state that what we know is ninjutsu, he thinks is karate. No, no, no. He is performing techniques from a completely different martial art. He's pulling like 1980s, like fucking, he's pulling like Kevin Spacey. Oh, not Kevin Spacey. He's pulling like Kevin Bacon, fucking, Ralph Macchio, fucking karate out. I think it's Kevin Bacon. I'm not sure. He's pulling a guy from that time period / Ralph Macchio's style of karate out. He's pulling like very Americanized karate. There's no way that's just watered down ninjutsu. So somehow, and it's not like he went somewhere and learned karate. No, no, no. He instantly, after having amnesia, while getting amnesia, forgot ninjutsu, but in that same instant of forgetting ninjutsu, somehow learned a completely different martial art just by getting amnesia. He learned karate by forgetting ninjutsu, basically, is the way this is explained. Anyway, but after his memory cleared up, he remembered he was a ninja, and now he knows karate and ninjutsu. So that's cool. That's basically the reason I needed to go into the backstory. Also, Torn Sky Blast. That's pretty much the only thing I can... I mean, well, Hayate can, like, teleport and shit and jump, basically fly with how high he jumps. But let's go into this, okay? Now, Zeus, the uppercut, even if that's the extent of the manipulation of electricity, that means he can electrically charge his body just by calling lightning from the sky. I think that alone would probably equal something to the Torn Sky Blast, because Torn Sky Blast is also, I mean, it's chi-based, or ki-based, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, but it's still, like, electricity, sort of. So, with that, that's probably a somewhat even match to the Torn Sky Blast, considering two of them colliding and exploding just knocked him into a tree instead of, like, Hayate, that is. Knocked Hayate into a tree instead of, like, killing him or something. That would mean the Torn Sky Blast, I've said this before, the Torn Sky Blast does not seem to be nearly as strong as people make it out to be. Like, people compare it to the Hadoken. I think the Hadoken's probably a lot stronger than the Torn Sky Blast. And if that's the case, then the Zeus calling lightning and electrically charging your body should not be a problem. But yeah, that's Lars has guns, though. That's another thing. Lars has been known to carry guns on him a lot. So, there's that. Plus Lars wears body armor. Like, military-grade body armor. Whereas Hayate just wears regular ninja clothes. I'd have to say that, I mean, well, physically, Hayate has the advantage. Definitely. I mean, he can jump a lot higher, he can move a lot faster. He's got a projectile, even if it is countered by... Plus, don't forget, Hayate just needs to basically go into position, fire the projectile, right? To fire Torn Sky Blast. Lars has to stand still, raise his hand into the air, and wait for lightning to strike his hand to activate Zeus. Now, it happens as soon as he does it, but he still has to leave himself vulnerable more so than the Torn Sky Blast, because the Torn Sky Blast is launching a projectile at them, which, is giving them time, which is sort of keeping them back long enough to, I don't want to use fighting game terminology here, but to, it justifies the lag. Whereas the Zeus is like, I'm going to stand still, then I'm going to have my body get electrocuted, then I'm going to do an uppercut. like, you have lag at the beginning and lag at the end. That's not, yeah. So, but let's not go into that, because I don't want to judge a death battle by the fighting games themselves. Um, so, yeah, Hayate's definitely physically superior. And he knows ninjutsu and karate, whereas Lars just knows karate. Um, so yeah, I don't really have a counter for that. For Lars' sake, I'm gonna say Hayate wins. So yeah, that's really all I can do. I mean, let's put it this way. In terms, I guess Lars' only justification would be he's won more fights that he's been in than Hayate has. I mean, Hayate got his ass handed to him by Raido. And but then again, this is Raido we're talking about. And you're gonna say Lars beat Heihachi. Lars shot a already beaten, weakened Heihachi, and it didn't even kill him. Lars did beat Heihachi. I think he might have beaten Kazuya at one point, but like two different things. Getting your ass kicked by a guy by Raido, and I know I did say Heihachi would beat Raido in that separate video. Um, I made a video of Heihachi and Raido. I made a video of Heihachi and Goken also, but let's not get into that. But yeah, like, that's not the same thing. Being able to beat a weakened Heihachi that's not necessarily a better achievement than losing to a full power young fucking Raido. That's not the same thing, right? And I know I said Heihachi would beat Raido, but this is a different Raido, and that was a different Heihachi, so let's leave it at that. Yeah, Hayate's got this. I'm sorry. It's not gonna be. I don't think it would be an easy fight, but he shouldn't have any problems taking down, unless there's something completely within the lore of these two games that I'm forgetting about. I think Hayate would probably be able to beat Raido. So, anyway, that's this week's episode for Verbal Engine 95.